Hare Ram Krishna, Hare Ram Krishna, Hare Ram Krishna. Today's topic is about yoga. In Indian philosophy, this word has been used and overused to signify several things. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Sri Krishna talks about yoga, various types of yoga. Yoga in general means union, and worldwide this word is known, which is technically Hatha Yoga, where you see people doing variety of postures, various asanas. That is basically Hatha Yoga. There are other types of yogas like Kriya Yoga. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Sri Krishna also talks about union of prana and apan. That is also yoga. But the yoga that will be discussed today is different. It is not in even in Jyotish also, in astrology also. There is yoga. When we say yoga, it means the Raj Yoga and various yogas that are coming out of conjunction of several planets in the chart. But this yoga that we are going to discuss today is about one of the elements in Panchanga. Panchanga. Panch means five and Angas means limbs. So Panchanga is basically the five limbs corresponding to five basic elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And out of all these five elements, the subtlemost is the space, because we encounter one or the other element every now and then, but space is the one thing that we neglect altogether. Just because, for example, a fish which is always there in the ocean remains forgetful about the water in the ocean. The moment the fisherman takes the fish out of the ocean and dumps it on the ground, the fish starts to feel the pain. It starts to feel what the water was. In the same way, the whole existence is in the space. And since it is all everywhere, so everyone remains forgetful about it. In fact, space is the element which was created after the consciousness. It is the one thing which is closest to consciousness. So just like consciousness is all pervading, space is also all pervading. In the Panchanga, one of the five elements, that is the space, it is governed by Jupiter. Jupiter signifies the space element. And when it comes to applying the knowledge of yoga in the chart, one can apply it in this way, that the yoga basically decides, just like space, it holds everything together. It provides the vacuum for everything else to exist. In the same way, the human existence, the existence of Jiva, is signified by the space element. So, the characteristic of the space element is determined by which yoga the person is born in. It is also the quality in the Jiva to hold various elements together. All the other elements, they are basically in the space actually. So the ability of holding all the elements together is also seen from the space element. Just like the project manager in a team in a IT company or some company, you see his main task is to coordinate with all other elements, all other constituents of that team. In the same way, the space is also kind of holding all other elements which are essential part of the of life together. So this ability is seen from the yoga. This yoga is obtained mathematically by adding the longitudes of sun and the moon. So basically, if sun is there in the third house and moon is there in the fourth house, then longitudes of sun and moon will be added together to arrive at a point in the zodiac. And then the whole zodiac is divided into 27 parts. So there are 27 yogas. And for each yoga, there is a different characteristic which will be seen in the person. So sometimes you'll see that these characteristics are there in the person lifelong. It becomes the basic nature of the person. And specifically at some points in the life, these characteristics become very prominent. For the yoga, one has to see the timing of event. One has to look at which planet is stronger in the chart, whether it is sun or moon. So it is if sun is stronger in the chart, then during the time of sun, these characteristics will become very prominent. And if moon is strong, then during the time of moon dasha, antardasha, mahadasha, this will become prominent. So that's about the timing of event. Now I'll go over all the 27 yogas. Now to know which yoga you are born in, you can simply see uh, in the Jhora. I use Jhora software. So in the Jhora software, when you enter your basic details, so in the first page itself, you'll see that uh, the yoga is there along with all other important things like Tithi and Hora Lord and weekday, everything. So basically, on the first page itself, it is there. All other astrology softwares they also provide this element. So now I'll go over all the yogas and their characteristics that you can see in your chart and see how beautifully it applies. So the first one is the Vishkumbha. Vishkumbha, it means it is basically a malefic yoga, and this yoga is lauded by Yama, Lord Yama, especially the first three ghatis. That is, each ghati is for 24 minutes, so 24 into 3, or approximately 1.5 hours. 1.5 hour of this yoga is very malefic, and it is the lord of this yoga is Yama, Lord Yama, and the graha that rules it is Saturn. Meaning of Vishkambha is the pot of poison. So just by the name itself, you can conclude it is a malefic yoga. And the person who is born in this yoga, he always gets happiness from wife, son, and friends. That's a good result. And he is able to handle any task independently. So it is very independent. It gives him very independent nature. He can do any task independently. And he is always keen to make his body beautiful. So he is always making efforts to make himself beautiful. That is the characteristic of vishkumbha. Vish means poison and kumbha means the pot. So it is pot of poison. Then the next yoga is priti yoga. So priti means love, enjoyment, gratification. Lord of this yoga is Vishnu, Bhagwan Vishnu, and the graha that rules is Mercury. This yoga, as the name suggests, is very benefic in nature, and the person who is born in this yoga, he is a very good speaker. The mercurial quality, that he is very good speaker. He has a beautiful body and is very wealthy. He is very generous in donating things. He has a smiling countenance, smiling face. He is happy in the happiness of other people. So that shows that such a person has a good heart, that he is happy with the happiness of other people, and he loves to follow religion. He is very religious, dharmic kind of person. Then the next yoga is Ayushman. Ayushman means having lot of ayush, having longevity. The lord of this yoga is Soma. Soma means Chandra, and the graha that rules it is Ketu. This is again a benefic yoga. The person who is born in this yoga he is very courageous in earning money. So when it comes to money, he becomes very courageous in taking any kind of risk. And he would like to visit garden at various places. So whatever place he visits, he like to visit the gardens over there. He is very long lived, as the name of this yoga suggests, and he is very respected person in the society. Then the next yoga is Saubhagya Yoga. The lord of this yoga is Brahma, and the graha that rules is Venus. So Saubhagya means very fortunate, and as the name suggests, it is a very benefic yoga. And the person who is born in this yoga, he is very knowledgeable, he is very rich, he speaks truth, he does good conduct, he is very powerful, wise, fortunate, and egoistical. So that is one negative quality that has been mentioned. Rest all is very good, just that he is very egoistical. Then the next is the Shobhan Yoga. Shobhan means virtuous, and again it is a benefic yoga. Lord of this yoga is Brahaspati, and the graha that rules it is Sun. So the person who is born in this yoga is very clever to reply quickly. So the person replies very quickly and very intelligently he replies. He is beautiful and prideful. That is, he takes pride in things that he possesses, and he is very intelligent. He does good work daily. So daily he tries to do something good. Then the next is Atiganda. Atiganda is Ganda means knots or problems. So this means Atiganda means lot of knots and lot of problems. So as the name suggests, this is a malefic yoga. And for the first 6 ghatikas, this is malefic. So first 3 hours of this yoga is very malefic. The lord of this yoga is Chandra, and the graha that rules is also Chandra. Such a person is always egoistic, He has disease in the throat. He is very angry. He has big hands and legs. He is very dishonest. He is quarrelsome and he is quack, pakhandi. That is, he portrays something and he does something else. And he has a prominent chin, Dirgha Hanu. This chin area, this is called Dirgha. This is Dirgha, that is prominent Hanu. Hanu means chin. Then the next yoga is Sukarma. Sukarma yoga. Sukarma means Su means good and Karma means work. So such a person, Sukarma means good work. It is again benefic yoga, and the lord of this yoga is Indra. The graha that rules is Mars, and it is a benefic yoga. So the person who is born in this yoga, he is always blissful. He is skilled in various arts. He is courageous, enthusiastic, and he is helping others. He has a helping nature. He does good deeds. Then dhriti. Dhriti means retention, holding, or steadiness. Um, this is a benefic yoga. Lord of this yoga is Apas. Apas means Jal, and Lord of the Graha that rules is Rahu. So the person born in this yoga, he is very scholar. He is a giver, data. He is always happy, and he has good nature. He is patient, disciplined, moral, and he is best in the meetings and gatherings. Then the next yoga is Shula. Shul means the iron pin or the spear. Spear is called Shul. It is malefic, especially the first five ghatis. So 2.5 hours is very malefic. The graha that rules is Jupiter, and the lord is Sarp, that is snake. Such a person is poor, diseased, and he is devoid of knowledge, humbleness, and good deeds. So he is devoid of knowledge, devoid of humbleness, devoid of good deeds. And he has colic disease, that is pain in the abdomen. Then the next is Ganda. Ganda Yoga. Ganda means obstacles or knots. So as the name suggests, this is a malefic yoga. The Lord is Agni, and the ruler and the graha that rules is Saturn. And this person is this is malefic yoga for the first six ghatikas. So around 3 hours it is malefic. Then he is very dishonest person, and he will not do tasks for friends. So suppose some friend asks him to do something, so he will be least willing to do those tasks. He is very angry and he has a tough nature, and he is distressed and in grief. Klesh is there. Then the next yoga is Vriddhi yoga. Vriddhi yoga, Vriddhi means growth, prosperity, increase in and augmentation. And the lord of this yoga is Surya. The graha that rules is Mercury, and it is a benefic yoga. And a person who is born in this yoga, he loves to accumulate. So he will accumulate things. He'll be very clever. He'll be very angry, and he'll become rich by trading. So by trading, he'll become prosperous. Then the next is Dhruva yoga. Dhruva yoga is Dhruv means firm, stable, permanent. So Dhruv Tara is stable, always in the north direction. So that's why Dhruv means permanent. It is a benefic yoga, and the lord of this yoga is Bhumi, that is the earth, Mother Earth, and the graha that rules is Ketu. The main characteristic of this yoga is that for such a person, Lakshmi is always there in the house. So that means lifelong he has prosperity and he remains rich. He has Saraswati in speech. He is well spoken and knowledgeable, and he is very famous. Then the next is Vyaghat. Vyaghat means killing or slaughter. This is, as the name suggests, this is a malefic yoga, and the first nine ghatikas are malefic, so around 4.5 hours. The graha that rules is Venus, and the lord is Vayu. And the characteristic of this yoga is such a person is ruthless. He is short sighted. He doesn't have very long vision. He has a prominent chin, and he say exception for whatever others say. So this is something very unique. So somebody, when whatever argument one says, he'll provide some exception to that argument or some exception to whatever is being said right now. He speaks untruth, so that means he lies, and he is violent. Then the Harshana yoga. This yoga, Harshan means delightful or happy. This is a benefic yoga, and the lord of this yoga is Bhaga, and the graha that rules is Surya. Such a person has soft body. He studies many sciences. He loves red color clothes. He loves to decorate himself, and he defeats enemies. So all these are good characteristics. And the next is Vajra yoga. Vajra Vajra means hard, impenetrable, and thunderbolt. It is a malefic yoga for first three ghatikas, that is 1.5 hours. And the lord of this yoga is Varuna, and the graha that rules is Moon. The person who is born in this yoga, he is beautiful, intelligent, he has good siblings, he is strong and powerful, he speaks truth, and he wears diamonds, and it is said that he knows the quality of gems. He can test gems. Then the Siddhi Yoga. So Siddhi means accomplishment or fruits of worshipping or success. This is a benefic yoga, and the lord of this yoga is Ganesha. The graha that rules is Mars, and it is a benefic yoga. So person who is born in Siddhi Yoga, he is very generous, he is very clever, he is gentle, and he respects sciences. He has a respect for sciences. Doesn't mean that he studies. He has faith and respect for the Shastras. He is a very lucky person, and he is a Tattva-gyani. So Tattva-gyani person is somebody who has knowledge of elements. But when it comes to knowledge of elements, it basically means the person who has knowledge about that element which is permanent. That is basically the Atma Tattva. So that's Tattva-gyani. Then the next yoga is Vyati Path. Vyati Path means total disaster, complete destruction. So this yoga is the worst yoga, and it is malefic in all the time, in all the ghatikas. The lord of this yoga is Rudra, and the graha that rules is Rahu. Such a person, he always follows his parents. Whatever order parents give, he follows. He is very diseased, so he has lot of diseases. Ruthless mind, kathor chitta. His mind is very ruthless, and he tries to obstruct the work of others. He tries to hamper the works of others. Then comes Variyan. Variyan means larger, better, and higher. It reaches all comforts. So it is something better actually. Variyan, something better than current. The lord of this one is Kuber, and the graha that rules is Jupiter. It is a benefic yoga, and the person who is born in this yoga, He is enjoyer of whatever has been obtained. So whatever resources he has, he enjoys it a lot. This is typically people who have lot of resources that they don't get to enjoy it. But such a person, he enjoys it. He is very humble person and he does good deeds. He will spend good even if he has less money. So he will spend money even though he doesn't have much money. Then the next yoga is the Parigha. Parigha yoga. Parigha means basically in old times gate used to be locked using a big iron bar. That iron bar is Parigha, and this Parigha is also very malefic. Uh, for the 15 hours, 30 ghatikas, this yoga is malefic. The lord of this yoga is Vishwakarma, and the graha that rules is Saturn. So the person who is born in the Parigha, he is he speaks lies even after taking oath. He gives surety to many people. So he is kind of surety for others, like surety in the court of law. When you provide surety to criminals or person who has been convicted, he does work openly. So whatever he does it openly without hiding it from anybody. And he's very unkind. He's clever person, and he doesn't enjoy much. He's not into enjoying things. He defeats enemies and he is very unapproachable. So this unapproachable you can correlate with the meaning of parigha, that is the iron bar that is used to lock the door. So that such person is very unreachable, unapproachable to others. Then the next yoga is Shiva. Shiva means auspicious. The lord of this yoga is Mitra, and the graha that rules is Mercury. It's a benefic yoga, and the person who is born in this yoga, he knows the science of mantra. He has knowledge about the mantra shastra. He conquers his senses. That means he has control over his senses. He has a beautiful body and he is always skillful with the grace of God. So he has grace of the God because of which he is always skillful. Then the next yoga is Siddha. Siddha means accomplishment, success. This is a benefic yoga, and the graha that rules it is Ketu. The Lord is Kartikeya. He such a person speaks truth and he knows many works. He has knowledge about lot of vocations and lot of works. He accomplishes many tasks. That is, he achieves many things in life, and he is beautiful. Then the next is Sadhya. Sadhya means something which is attainable, something that can be attained. The meaning of sadhya is attained. The lord of this yoga is Savitri. The graha that rules is Venus, and it is a very benefic yoga. The person who is born in this sadhya yoga is very humble, very clever, and he loves to laugh. Very comic person, jocular person. He loves to laugh. His skill is in his work, and he defeats enemies, and he can accomplish many things by the knowledge of mantras. Then the next is Shubha Yoga. Shubha means auspicious or propitious, and such a person is it's a benefic yoga, and the lord of this yoga is Lakshmi, uh, goddess is Lakshmi, and the graha that rules is Sun. Such a person does good deeds. He speaks nicely, and he has many good qualities, and and he likes to preach others. He likes to give advice and preachings to others. Then the next is Shukla Yoga. So Shukla means white, clean, or something pure. It is a benefic yoga, and the lord of this yoga, the goddess of this yoga is Parvati, Devi Parvati. The graha that rules is moon, and the nature is benefic. So the person who is born in Shukla yoga, he conquers his senses. He has control over his senses. He speaks truth and he is strong and powerful. He is victorious in discussions and wars, and he likes to wear clean and neat clothes. He is rich. Then the next yoga is Brahma. Brahma is a benefic yoga. It means Brahma is the divine source. In Indian philosophy, in Indian religion, Hindu religion, Brahma is said to be the creator of this universe. So he is the source of all creation. The lord of this yoga is Ashwini Kumar, and the graha that rules is Mars. It is a benefic yoga, and the person who is born in Brahma yoga is he loves to study and he has a pure heart. He gains respect by verity and good conduct. He is peaceful and he is a giver. He does good deeds. Then the next yoga is Indra. Indra yoga, it is the lord of Indra yoga is Pitra. Now, Indra, meaning of Indra is king of Devatas. He is the leader, and the graha that rules is Rahu. Such a person, he is very scholar and powerful. He is very wealthy. He has a Kaf Prakriti. So Kapha is Vata, Pitta, Kapha. These are three doshas as per Ayurveda. So Kapha element is there in the lungs. So because of such thing, he is prone to cough diseases like coughing and mucus in the lungs. He is very prone to sinus and throat issues. He is best in the family and he is majestic. Then Vaidhriti. Vaidhriti yoga. Vaidhriti means arresting or holding, and it is the most malefic yoga among all the yogas. The lord of this is Diti. Diti and Aditi, um, these were wives of Rishi Kashyapa, and Diti is said to be mother of all the asuras, and Aditi is supposed to be mother of all the all the devas. So metaphysically, devas and asuras they are not some individual beings like manushas with a body and material self, but they are the good qualities and virtuous qualities within oneself. So Aditi is mother of all the devas, that is mother of all good qualities in you, and Diti is mother of all the bad qualities in you. The Lord, the Graha that rules it is Jupiter. Such a person is very fickle minded. He does friendship with evil minded people. He disbelieves Shastras. He is a backbiter. He is impatient when talking about fearful things. He does not feel much emotionally. That is, the word that is used is Hridaya Shunya. So that is the last yoga. That is the last yoga, Vaidhriti yoga. So once again, regarding timing of the events, one has to use which planet is stronger, sun or the moon, and in their prasha or antarprasha, these results will become prominent. Also, one can also analyze the lord, the graha, the planet which is ruling their yoga, and depending on the state of that planet, depending on the placement and the avastha of that planet, one can also conclude how best or uh, in what way these results will become prominent in the chart. So that's all from me for today. आप सभी के भीतर बैठे परमात्मा को प्रणाम करता हूँ, मेरा प्रणाम स्वीकार करें।